Look how far we've come, all the things we've done. Did it all with love, beauty from the bottom up. All I want is you, you're my favorite view. But there's nothing more, girl, you make my heart beat.
And we are back.
Welcome back, Bumble bitches.
Gotta make sure everything's working. It looks like everything's working. All right. What a fucking weekend. We did a lot this weekend. We are back from the North Carolina couples retreat. We had an incredible weekend. A whole lot of new things came up that we haven't got to deal with, which we got to deal with, which was really cool. And we got to spend an entire weekend in a pretty dope little, it wasn't little, it was a 3-story home in Penrose, North Carolina.
Yes.
And
big backyard, big front yard,
big everything.
3-tiered porches. Like,
Yeah. It was pretty dope. Had a lot of healings, a lot of things happen. Belle said, "Peach, is that my dress?"
this is your dress.
That's funny.
Yep. I'm ordering different colors. I have this one and I have like a light creamish tan color.
Yeah.
I want to get one in that like Everforest green. I feel like that will go really good with my hair coming in.
That's funny.
These dresses are the greatest thing ever. They have pockets. Yeah. Highlight of the weekend for you.
Highlight of the weekend for me.
What was like the highlight? I know there's so many things.
There was a lot. A lot happened this weekend.
Yeah.
I learned a lot this weekend. I think the highlight for me was realizing how analytical my brain is and watching people have conversations, how fast I am to pick apart their vernacular. And like, I'm getting really good at stopping people and be like, this is what's happening right now. And I can do it confidently. Like
Yes.
I believe in myself because we've done this so fast or so long now that it's very quick.
You're so hot.
Thank you. There was a lot of healing this weekend.
There was a lot of healing this weekend.
I don't even know how to begin to explain some of the things that went on this weekend, but there were moments when we were working with people that you could see the light bulb turn on and them go,
Their whole body.
just relax.
Just relax.
Yeah.
It was their soul sighing.
Yeah.
A lot of crying.
There was a lot of crying.
A lot
this
of
weekend.
wailing happened.
There were some wails.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing this weekend? Wait, hold on. I take back what I said.
Okay.
Watching you in the kitchen with the other women was a fucking huge highlight. So I can't say which one was
Yeah.
my favorite. You doing the Mama Peach thing in there and like all of you women in there cooking and laughing and bonding and dancing and having all of that was the shit. I'm in the living room. I keep looking over and everybody's just having a complete fucking blast in the kitchen. And like the food was good. And like that was a huge highlight for me. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't expecting that. That made me a little bit emotional.
It was very cool to see.
Yeah.
It was very cool to see.
I agree that I would pretty much say the same thing as you. Being in the kitchen with all of the ladies, I really tried my damnedest not to control the kitchen. I wanted ladies doing things that they weren't comfortable doing. They can learn new skills. We're going to cook things we never cooked before. And I kind of just wanted to monitor. We're double checking things. I'm a very hands-on person. Like when I cook, I have to feel what's happening in the food. So I can tell you to stir the eggs, but if I can't feel what's happening in that bottom of pan, like underneath all the liquid, I don't know if you're doing it right.
Right.
So like I'll have them do it and then I'll have to feel it for a second and then I'll give it back to them. And I felt like that was disruptive for the experience, but that's the way that I'm going to have to teach. I enjoyed the singing and the dancing in the kitchen. That was a lot of fun. Take On Me came on at like 9:30 in the morning.
Heard.
I know. And like I turned it on. I was like, yeah, Take On Me. And I was like, oh, my husband.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And like I bumped the volume down a little bit. And like I went from going, I was like, whatever, something quiet. Trying to maintain that space. I was also like, my husband recognizes we're in a house with 14 other people.
Yeah, there was no way.
So like there was no way I was going to maintain a level of zen while you were in there trying to recuperate some sleep.
Yeah.
The cooking was a lot of fun. Music was always going. I started the mornings with like this zen meditation frequency sound. The vibes were immaculate.
Yeah, vibes were on point this weekend.
All the time.
It was pretty cool watching you and Buff Bell reconnect too. Like I
Yeah.
know that it hasn't been long since you guys have seen each other. It's been like maybe 2 months.
Feels like forever.
Maybe 2 months.
The June retreat.
So it's been 2 months.
2 months.
July, August. That was nice.
We need to live closer.
Yeah.
I hate the distance. I am very much an in-person friend.
Yeah.
Very much an in-person friend. I text message. Texting is not fulfilling for me. So like I understand that people get something out of it having text message conversations, and that's why I still have them. You may go unread for a month or two. Yeah. But when you have my attention, like if you're sending me paragraphs, you're gonna get paragraph responses. I'm hitting everything in that. So we're sending novels back and forth. But that doesn't fill my cup to just sit at my phone texting, waiting for a response back, and like say the other person starts doing something and now I'm waiting for the next 45 minutes. Then I start doing something and then they start blowing me up. Now I feel like obligated to respond because now I have message. It's a whole thing.
Right.
That's why I have the boundaries that I do about online friendship, it's just too much for me. It makes me hate having friends versus enjoying the people that I'm around because of that obligation feeling, the anxiety, the response.
Well, you're getting a very small facet of somebody digitally.
Right.
You're not getting emotion. You're not getting tone. You're not getting inflection. You're not getting body language. You're not getting warmth. You're not getting energy transference. Like there's a whole lot of things that are happening when you interact with somebody in real life versus this bullshit.
Before you jump into that, are you going to forget that?
No.
Okay. I also wanted to touch on like the second part that was really good for me for the weekend. Okay. And that was the one-on-ones. I mean, the group sessions were fantastic. And we were on fire giving advice. Like you said, we're getting really, really good at this and pinpointing what's irrelevant to the conversation when people start to sidetrack with evidence for their arguments versus being on point towards the solution. During our one-on-ones, we were just getting it. Even with couples that maybe took a little bit longer, it wasn't fluff conversation. We weren't talking about the weather.
We were able to stop the nonsense because of the time constraints, because people were only supposed to get an hour.
Right.
And some people went way over that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that when they start telling us something that's not relevant to what's happening right now, we're like, that's not relevant. Move on. Like, that's also really good because it's not eating up people's times with shit that matters. I realize that people want to talk to us.
Yes.
And that's part of it too, which is why we don't work the entire time we're there.
Yeah. Doing that in the moment though, saying that that's so relevant, it also helps them recognize like when they go back home and they start saying whatever they need to say, they feel they need to say in the moment, if they can hear us in the back of their mind going, that's irrelevant. Yeah. It might be able to steer them back towards the main purpose of why they're having the quote unquote argument or fight.
Could.
I hope so.
We had a couple people who are already like, when's the next one?
Yeah.
That are willing to come to the next one.
It's been 2 days.
There was a lot of shit that happened this weekend. One of the couples was in a fucking car accident and completely totaled their car on the way there.
You had to go.
I had to go pick them up, was gone for like an hour and a half. Got them back to the cabin. They ended up getting fucking stranded on the way back out because the rental car company wouldn't take their credit card and they had to go to a different. I mean, the couple had a lot going on and they still got back and was like, this was the most amazing weekend we've had. Like, yeah. It's a whole lot of dope shit happening. Yeah. So what I was going to say was every time we do a Trova trip or an excursion or a retreat, we get better, right?
Yes.
Because the first time we did any of this, like Thailand, we had no idea what the fuck we were doing. We were just on vacation. The first couples retreat, we had an idea going in and we scrapped the idea. And now we have a formula of what works. And like you guys getting up early and doing the meditation out there, if people are into that, or this, the sound bowls, all of that shit, like for the most part, everyone
did it.
I did, except for me.
Yeah, husband sat out.
The sound bowls, certain frequencies actually hurt my ears. Tinnitus. It does. But anyways, we got, you guys doing the kitchen thing and the cooking and meditation and sound bowls and all that shit. And then getting into the group discussion. And the group discussion is really beneficial for everyone because there's going to be things that we hit that may take up somebody else's thing, which frees up more things for other people to discuss. Yes. And then the one-on-ones after the group sessions the next day gives them time, 24 hours, to think about what they really want to get into with us on an individual basis. Because we've already covered all the surface level shit. So now we're on fire with the way that this is working.
And it gets their brains working.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of anxiety that goes into going to these retreats. For us, it's a little bit less, right? Yeah. I mean, there's still anxiety there. There's expectations that we feel like we have to adhere to or blow out of the stratosphere. For the people arriving who are going to be participating in these retreats, you're showing up to complete strangers.
Yeah, fully unknowns.
Fully unknown. Yeah. Unknown area, unknown house, meeting two people on the internet. Don't know how this is going to go. The group sessions, I feel like, provides a safe opportunity to hit surface level things that they know everybody else has experienced at least once, like in-law issues, financial troubles, arguing about that one thing. And I think it helps put the brain from that anxiety, oh, what am I getting myself into, and into the healing, processing, actually bringing up the things that you really want to deep dive.
Yeah. Harley in the chat said every time we do one of these things, we come back looking reborn. Because this is a recharge for us. Don't get me wrong. Yesterday, the drive home was fucking hard. Like I was a zombie for most of the day. It felt like we got here quick as fuck because I was checked out for a lot of the drive. Yep.
I did a lot of like listening to documentaries, ancient history shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a little bit of podcast time too. We also had Belle's grandmother passed away while we were there. Like there was a lot of things that happened this weekend. It felt like there was a lot of things that were trying to prevent people from getting what they needed from this retreat. And that's what happens when you're about to make a major breakthrough with your healing. The universe is going to throw the universe is going to throw a whole lot of shit at you to try to hold you back.
The fuck you mean you're trying to outgrow me?
Yeah, no.
Outgrow your damage.
Let me get my claws back in you and pull you right back over here where you
go back to that cycle that drowns you.
Yeah. I also think that it's one of those things too, that when we do these things, the groups that come together, there's not an awkward, like there's always a weird introduction. Like, do I shake their hand? Do I hug them? Like that's always going to be a thing. But within 5 minutes of everybody being together, everybody's laughing and having a good time. And like we had conversations about politics, religion, like aliens, science, like all, and there was no ugly the entire fucking weekend, which is really, really rare when you have those conversations pop up. Yep. It was wild.
I also want to touch on something that a lot of the women commented on, is that they felt like this is the first time they were able to be with a group of women and not feel like they were in competition for something.
Right. Well, you had your whole ass little women only area out there for a little bit too. So
yeah, we sat out there, we held hands, we sang, we cried, we screamed. Definitely a lot of nurturing and support happens.
Yep. A lot of love. Okay. So real quick, guys, we have a small major announcement.
Okay. Before you do that, Buff Bell said, I gained like 6 new daughters. I feel that. Every time we do a retreat, every time we do a Trova trip, there is that bond and that like healing that happens. It definitely feels like I'm adding new chicks to all my little baby ducks are following me. Yeah.
There's always connections made. And it's not real shit. Like, just to be completely transparent with you guys, it's not with everybody. But there are always Facebook exchanges and phone number exchanges, and there are always new connections made with people when we do these things. And it creates real friendships. Like Taylor on the Thailand trip is now a permanent fixture in our lives.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love her.
Okay, so the minor major announcement. We booked a mansion for December to do another one of these because we had such a good time this weekend.
Yeah.
And it is going to be in Miramar Beach, Florida. So, and when I tell you it's a mansion, like it's like a fucking long ass driveway that's got like 2 garages on the front of the house. And
we have a private dock.
Yeah, well, there's also an infinity pool and a hot tub in the backyard.
Movie theater.
Right. Like this is the biggest fucking like house that we've rented for what we're doing. It has 5 private rooms. So, because we're going to be doing couples and co-eds at this. And then we have 2 rooms that have individual bunk beds in it. One room has 4 bunk beds. The other room has 4 bunk beds and 1 private bed. So we're going to be doing 5 private rooms, 4 bunk beds for men, 5 private, like single beds for women. And it is currently on our website. Prices are up. It should be good to go. It will be December 5th through 8th. Food is included.
Yep. We will be cooking.
There will be cooking. There will be a whole lot of itinerary placed later on. We just wanted to get it on the website for you guys now, for you guys and Patreon to get an early booking if that's something that you want to do. There will be the individual bunk bed rooms are going to be cheaper than the private rooms, obviously, because you'll be sharing a room with people. But if you are somebody who wants to go and can't afford the private room, that's an option for you. If you are somebody who is single and wants to go, that's an option for you. The only caveat to all of this is depending on the overall bookage, the people who are single may not get one-on-one coaching time with us.
Yes.
because this is still geared towards a couples retreat. It doesn't mean that you won't get a whole lot of benefit because there will be group discussions. There will be a whole lot of other activities that are really fucking dope. But just know that that one thing may not apply to you. That will be purely based on our schedule after the couples. At this point, we do not know if there will be a boudoir shoot or if Buff Bell will be there. That's something that we are currently working on.
Yes.
In the event that Buff Bell is not coming, there will be an extra room.
I have an idea.
What?
Right? Say that the boudoir shoots don't work out. Can't make that happen. We did this last weekend. So Buff Bell and I were doing photos together for the new Courage and Curves podcast. If you guys aren't familiar with that yet, we have rebranded the Good Wives. It is now the Courage and Curves podcast. And we are going to be breaking the mold that we set ourselves with the Good Wives label. So we took a bunch of new pictures and we had fun and we laughed and we were goofy and we included the women on the retreat in some of those pictures.
We did.
And they loved it. They enjoyed being in it, moving around, having fun. So if we can't do the boudoir, or we can do it in tandem with the boudoir, I would like to get the women out there feeling good, have them being comfortable in front of a camera and take pictures to have a memory for the retreat.
Could definitely do that. I also want to look into, eventually I want to get to the point where we have one meal cooked by you and everyone there and then have a chef do the rest like a Naomi.
Okay, that would be dope.
So that we don't have to do that, right?
Yeah, I probably spent 14 hours accumulatively prepping, cooking.
Yeah, you guys were in the kitchen a lot.
Yeah.
But there was also 14 people there. You know what I mean? So, but I would like to have an actual cook there. That would be something that we'd have to budget in, which would change the price of the retreats a little bit. And then I also think that I might want to try to find somebody that does massage therapy to be able to offer massage on like a Sunday evening after the retreat is kind of wrapping up, just to
that would be wonderful.
Get that out of our bodies because all of us felt beat the fuck up Sunday night.
I don't remember going to our bedroom Sunday night.
Sunday was rough. There was a lot. There was a whole lot that happened Sunday. So I do need a disclaimer, and then we're going to read a couple chats and we'll get into emails, I promise. These retreats that we do, Peaches is a cannabis consumer.
Florida, take a hit now.
Florida is a medical marijuana state. When we do these retreats, there will be cannabis use there. There will be discussions of alternative medicine, holistic approaches to like health. And there's a whole lot of things there that you may not be comfortable with. And if you're not comfortable with conversations that may go against your religion, if you're not okay with cannabis use, if you're not okay with having conversations about other plant medicines or holistic healings, don't fucking come to these retreats. They're not for you. You're going to end up making yourself super uncomfortable and you're not going to have a good time because this is an inclusive thing. We are not trying to isolate people or tell somebody they can't be their authentic selves. And we're also not trying to mediate people who are not having a good time because somebody may or may not be smoking weed.
Right.
That did not happen at this last retreat, but it did come up.
Yes.
And I just don't want there to be any misnomers of what, like, this is who we are in real life. She's a smoker.
Go puff, puff, pass.
I will talk about plant medicines until I can't fucking breathe anymore. And there are people who are uncomfortable with it, and that's totally fucking okay.
And we're going to have group wailings, group healings. We're going to move energy. And
you can come and not fuck with any of that. Yeah. Just don't come and try to fuck up other people's excitement and situation with that. I actually had Chris put a disclaimer on the website over that today. So
good.
That's actually on there. But Belle said I was slinging Reiki all Sunday evening quietly. Sunday evening was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Stanzi said, I learned an astronomical amount during this past weekend at the retreat. Jenny said, I go to all the things and I do none of the things. Just don't be a fuckface. That's it, man. It's not hard. It's not hard. Just let people be happy, right? Like what somebody else does shouldn't affect you like that.
Right.
Unless they're being like if somebody was getting drunk and was being a belligerent drunk, I would handle that. It's a very different conversation than somebody getting high and getting quiet. Right?
Yeah. Like,
I don't know.
Or getting high and just giggly.
Right.
Like there was no stupidity this weekend.
None.
There were people who brought alcohol and just quietly drank it.
Yeah.
I didn't see a single person walking around with a beer bottle or anything.
Right? I actually didn't either. I did see the Busch beer in the refrigerator though, which is weird.
But. Right. So like people were drinking, but there wasn't a lack of self-regulation is the only thing coming to my mind right now. I do also want to offer Reiki on the next retreat.
Yeah.
I feel like if we are able to make it work with having a chef in the kitchen, like if I do like, we cook a breakfast as a cooking class and then we cook dinner Sunday night, like Saturday morning and Sunday night, and then we had a chef, I would have more time to do those kinds of things.
Well, isn't Danish a cook? Doesn't she cook? Because she lives only 45 minutes. We could just pay her to come and cook all day. She's close enough.
Danish. Caca.
Lisa said, did you bring your sound bowls? She did. She did.
I did. We did morning meditation every morning. Saturday morning was a guided meditation by Buff Bell. We did some breath work and then we did some heart chakra openings. We will also be doing that. So if you don't fuck with chakras, I understand.
You guys don't have to be a part of all the things that they do.
Like, and then we did the sound bath. So in total, it's about 30, 45 minutes with the meditation followed up by the sound bath. And then Saturday morning, I did a YouTube guided meditation, which fuck AI. It took me about 2 hours to find a person guided meditation breath work that I enjoyed listening to that didn't sound like it was created by ChatGPT and they were just reading it. The amount of AI content that's being pushed on YouTube is disgusting to me.
Right. Well, that's going to fall off because YouTube is no longer paying for creators if they're making AI footage. But we had that conversation the other day about the bots that are on the internet. They're saying that the internet is upwards of 45 to 50% bots right now, which is crazy to me. But
right, that's absolutely insane.
Jenny said, I had so much fun cooking at the last meet and greet. I didn't even think to ask if she wanted to come to one of these things. It's that, I mean, if she's going to come to one, that would be the one to fucking come to.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
That house is fucking insane.
Janae.
It's insane. We'll have to reach out to people after all this is done. Somebody asked if you still drink.
Do I still drink? I enjoy a glass of wine. I do not enjoy the feeling of being buzzed anymore.
I have a conversation I want to get into, but we're already 30 minutes into this and I don't want to.
This could be Friday content. We did the sound bath. Oh, and for anybody who attended the retreat this weekend, when we were talking about how I do sound baths and why I picked it up and all those kinds of things, the way that you play matters, right? So going with the earth, you're pulling energy in, right? If we go counterclockwise with the earth, we're pushing energy out. And it's all intuition for me. So I may play one bowl to bring the shit in and I'm playing another bowl to play it out. Whole thing. So, but the Reiki, I am doing a 3-month study. I'm not even going to say a course. It's a 3-month study of Reiki and the history of it and understanding the symbols, how to move energy, all those kinds of things. And I'm almost done with my 3 months. And this could be total bullshit, right? I know that copper is a conduit. And I'm seeing these spiral palm Reiki conduits to help with moving the energy. And I want to buy it so fucking bad. But I'm also like, am I being scammed right now?
Why are you being scammed right now?
Because will it actually help with the Reiki, or will it get in the way of my energy, moving with the person trying to undo blockages and shit?
It's a good question. Because you're right, copper is a conduit.
Right.
They actually tell you to wear it if you've got bad joints and shit because it helps move energy and shit around your body, blood, nutrients.
I'm buying them.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to try them.
Are you talking about bracelets or what are you talking about?
So it's palm things. So it's a spiral that wraps around. It's a spiral and it just goes onto your hand.
Okay.
And as you're doing the Reiki and moving the energy around, it's supposed to help.
Forces,
amplify.
Yeah. Okay.
Get things moving.
I'm just saying we could test that on my back.
We could do it today. I would love to do some Reiki on you.
You don't have them though.
No, I can do it without them.
I wanted to see you become Aang. Right? Do some airbender shit on you or something.
Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. All right.
I'm ordering them real quick.
Okay.
I want to touch you.
I'll wait until you're done.
I can listen and order stuff.
This is going to be a slightly longer episode because we have so much shit to get into with the retreats, and then I have this conspiracy thing I want to get into. Chris, I can't wait to read through your book once it comes. From what I've read, I'm going to really enjoy it. Thank you for the words and guidance. You're welcome. I actually that's on my list to do today. I have to order all of my signed copy books so that I can get them sent out. I don't have them in yet. I haven't even ordered it. They would not let me pre-order my books. Just fucking stupid. Okay. Do you know what the CERN collider is?
The CERN collider?
Yep.
Can I respond with a movie reference and then you confirm if I'm correct?
Sure.
Have you seen Spider-Man Into the Multiverse? It's the comic book cartoon one
I don't know.
with Miles.
I've seen parts of it because you guys watched it.
They had that big spinning thing that they were shooting lasers and shit out
Yeah,
of.
that's pretty much, that's it. So
Yeah.
just for those who don't know, the CERN Collider is a massive scientific instrument used to study fundamental building blocks of matter. It works by accelerating beams of particles like protons to high energies and then colliding them, recreating conditions similar to those shortly after the Big Bang. These collisions allow scientists to observe the resulting particles and study fundamental forces of nature. I need to real quick find out when they did this. The first time it was used was in 2008. Mayan calendar was supposed to end in 2012, but it's not the end of the world. It's a shift in the world we know it. And that's what people have moved away from.
Nostradamus said the same thing.
Okay. Well, because everything in our universe goes in cycles.
Right.
So it's not like a far-fetched thing. It's pretty simple. The function of the CERN Collider is to accelerate and collide, recreate earlier universe conditions, and then study the fundamental particles.
To recreate what?
The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, okay.
Basically, they're trying to recreate early universe conditions.
Stop. I did not know that part. So you're telling me they're trying to create a universe.
I'm sorry, conditions similar to those shortly after the Big Bang. So
This is how many verses are created.
we could really get into a whole ass thing about the very specific conditions necessary for all of this to exist after the Big Bang. Like if one thing was even off by like a
Right.
very minute thing, none of this would exist. So the Big Bang Theory in itself is, I believe, a science experiment.
Right.
Right. Okay. The discoveries so far, the Higgs boson discovery, it played a crucial role in the discovery of Higgs boson, the fundamental particle that explains how other particles acquire mass. It's also led to discoveries related to other fundamental particles and phenomenon contributing to our understanding of the universe at its most basic level. This is just AI shit that I'm reading right now to give context to what we're getting into. This thing is a 27-kilometer ring-shaped tunnel located about 100 meters underground. It was built and operated through a collaboration of scientists and engineers from around the world. They are superconducting magnets. There's electromagnetic fields, particle detectors. There's just a whole lot.
Why are we doing this? I get the curiosity, right? Trying to understand the things that we don't understand. I feel like there is so much risk to this.
Well, and that was the fear when they did it. When they turned it on, people were expecting the world to implode. Like there was this, well, it was no different when they dropped the first nuclear bomb. They were like, we could ignite the atmosphere and just
I
wipe
remember
out the
that.
planet.
That was Oppenheimer, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But now they're every time they turn this thing on, there's fears that it could alter our reality or destroy our universe, or who fucking knows, because they're playing God with this collider. And that's a very real scary thing for a whole lot of people, right?
I'm kind of upset by that. Like, I'm sorry, scientists, who do you think you are to take my life in your hands like that? I'm gonna go. Good luck, everybody else. Like, continue.
Okay.
Just the audacity of these scientists.
So since 2008 to 2012, the world as we know it has shifted. And everyone has heard of the Mandela effect. You know, Nelson Mandela effect. And they call it that because there were a whole lot of people that believe he died while he was in prison. But there's also news articles about him getting out of prison and becoming the president of the country he was from. And like, that was the thing. And the Fruit of the Loom having the
cornucopia.
The cornucopia. I remember that.
I remember
said
that
that
too.
was never a thing. Fruit of the Loom will tell you that was never one of their logos.
Then why are there shirts with a logo on it?
Okay, so here's the theory, and this is the craziness that I wanted to touch on. There are a large group of people that believe that when the CERN Collider was turned on for the first time, that it created a copy of our universe in a parallel universe. And what we're currently living in is not the universe that we were living in before that turned on. So all of the brands and all of the things that have minute differences have those differences because this is not our reality. Read that shit and I'm like, that makes a whole lot of fucking sense as to why all of these things are there and why people are like, that was never true. That was never a thing for us, because for some people, it was never a thing.
So is this like a Thanos snap?
I mean, it could be.
Like what happened to the version of us that lived in that experience?
Don't know.
Right?
Maybe
Did we merge with them?
we could have. Maybe. I mean, that would explain a whole lot of familiar situations or fucked up memories that come to us in random moments. Like, holy shit, I remember that now. Like, right?
What if there was a rapture and the version of us is gone
Could be.
and we got to fill that spot? And the people that don't remember that shit, this is their version of hell.
Well, I mean, we know that through all of the time travel movies that two objects of the same mass can't occupy the same space at the same time.
Correct.
So like there's been movies where, and I can't remember, it was the TV show of 12 Monkeys where there was a watch, and when the watch touched, it exploded.
Yeah.
There's a very real possibility that our exact versions of ourselves couldn't exist. So one version of us had to disappear in order for that to work. I don't know how that would play out. The whole alternate copy universe theory and the universe itself merging and all of the things here would make more sense than the people going away, because the people are just the people. But like, I don't know, man.
No.
I went down a whole rabbit hole of this shit.
So what if there's a thin veil between parallel universes, right? What if they swapped with us? And now they're in our
That could be a thing too.
correct timeline, going through the same Mandela effects.
It could be a thing. That would
Mandela.
make a whole lot more sense than people disappearing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kimberly said they're booking a room tomorrow. I fucking love that.
Holy shit.
Okay, so when I Googled CERN Collider copy universe theory, here are the theories discussed on Reddit via their AI overview.
Okay.
Shifting into parallel universe, destroying our universe. One common theory suggests that the CERN Collider experiments, particularly those related to study in the Higgs boson, could have somehow caused a shift in the space-time continuum, destroying our original universe and moving us into a parallel one. This theory often ties into explaining the phenomenon like the Mandela effect, according to the discussion in a conspiracy theory thread. Some even suggest that this might have happened deliberately, not accidentally. Universe copy or simulation. And this is the one that gets me, because I do believe that we are living in a construct. Maybe not a simulation, but we are definitely living in a construct. Another angle posits that the LHC caused our collective consciousness to be moved into a computer-generated copy or simulation of the world. The minor differences experienced / the Mandela effect are seen as glitches or inconsistencies in the simulated reality. Another theory is that it's alternating reality or creating new timelines. Some users speculate that every timeline the LHC runs, it might destroy pieces of the universe, quantum fields, or create new things that change the fabric of the universe that could lead to constant shifting of quantum fields to the closest multiverse timeline, explaining perceived reality shifts or Mandela effects. There's also a theory about it opening portals and dimensions. There's also speculation about the LHC opening wormholes, portals, mirror dimensions, or alternate dimensions, impacting weather patterns or shifting the world into alternate timelines, which would also make a whole lot of sense because our weather patterns have been really fucked up.
Yes, they have been.
So then it goes on to say important considerations. These are not scientific theories. It's important to stress that these Reddit discussions are primarily based on speculative theories, conspiracy theories, and interpretations of observations rather than established scientific findings. Many world interpretation, MWI, and CERN, while the many world interpretation of quantum physics, quantum mechanics is legitimate, although debated, interpretation within physics, it is important to distinguish it from the more speculative copy universe. Theories discussed on Reddit. MWI suggests that every possible outcome of a quantum event occurs in its own universe or branch of the universe wave function. It does not imply that certain experiments are actively creating or destroying universe in the way that Reddit discusses. And then the last one says that CERN's research focuses on studying fundamental particles and forces that govern them, pushing the boundaries of our of our understanding of the universe. While the experiments involved high energy collisions, How Stuff Works noticed that they operate with strict safety protocols and that the scientific community does not support the notion that LHC is creating dangerous black holes or destroying the universe. And even if they were, do you think that they would fucking tell us that?
Right.
Somebody said, we've only been tracking the weather for like 100 years. I wouldn't say that meteorologists have to say about weather patterns is true at all. There's no long-term real weather data collection. We've actually been tracking the weather a lot longer than 100 years.
Hundreds, thousands of years.
Right. Well, you can see it even in geology.
Yeah.
You can see floods and things of that nature. So depending on how they're tracking the weather, they are absolutely going back. We also know that as poles shift, weather patterns change. We know that Antarctica was not always covered by ice, and it wasn't at the very bottom of the earth. It's moved. Pangea. There's a whole lot of things that go into that. I do believe that we are cyclical, and our weather patterns will repeat themselves. There have been record high days since we have started tracking the weather, but we know that there's been massive storms that have destroyed things and like things of that nature. So, and we know that there's been massive heating and cooling of the planets going on since the beginning of the planet. That's all trackable.
Right.
So for us to be like, our cars are creating greenhouse gases and doing all of this shit, and we're destroying the planet. There is more greenhouse gas being cooked off the top of the ocean from the heating of the planet than what we're creating with cars.
Right.
So, and there are ways for us to correct the problem, and the problem being corrected is not battery powered vehicles, and it certainly isn't fucking mining lithium.
Right.
So there was a whole lot of that. That was fun.
It was fun.
I'm gonna do some emails now.
Yeah. Can't tell if we've read that email already or not.
Well, we can do one from one of the non-Patreon folders.
Okay.
Red said, how often do you guys go to your P.O. box? We normally go there every single time we get a package delivered. We got one delivered over the weekend, and we were not able to make it there yet. I plan on doing that at some point this week. So if you sent something and it's there, it's there. We did get a couple wedding invitations. We haven't opened those yet, though.
You ready?
I am. Are you? Are you ready?
I am.
Okay, let's go.
This one is titled Cheating Girlfriend.
How dare her?
Hello, Chris and Peaches. First and foremost, I would like to thank you for the people you are and example couple you have become over the years. The effort you both put into the content you provide supersedes all expectations of free, viable information one can retain from the internet. Thank you so much for all that you do. I will do my best to provide all the information I can to help tell my story and explain it from an unbiased perspective. In 2017, I had my first child, who was a son, with my high school sweetheart. She left me about 9 months after he was born. During this time, I met and dated a few women, and she dated a few men, and so on and so forth. In 2019, when COVID struck, we tried to work on things again, and things were looking up. However, I still had a connection with another girl, we are going to call her Yumi, who I work with. I was having relations with Yumi whilst me and my son's mother were separated.
I think that language is deceiving.
Elaborate.
He said separated and not, when we were broke up.
Right.
So were you still with her and seeing someone else because you weren't together?
Right.
You were separated, or were you actually broke up and you had a relationship with another woman? Because it's a different conversation.
Mm-hmm. So there's a new made up name here. So I don't know if this is the same chick or if this is a typo. My sexual relationship with continued even while I was trying to work on things with my ex. I was cheating. She went through my phone and found messages between Yumi and I, leading to my ex and I breaking up for good.
So he was cheating then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shortly, if not immediately after we broke up, Yumi and I relationship took off and she and I started dating. My ex also found another man who is now her husband, and our co-parent relationship has been very successful.
Awesome.
We are civil. We only want what's best for our son. Our feelings do not matter at this point. We are happy to not be together, and we accept that. We look at it as our son now has 2 mothers and 2 fathers, and we're blessed. A few months into Yumi and I's relationship, I found out she was having sex and having a relationship with my general manager, who is married with 4 kids for basically the whole time I've known her.
Are you really shocked by that? Like, your relationship was founded in infidelity and foul shit. Like, that's normally a pattern for people. Like, especially if there's not been any real healing that's going on. She was the other woman.
Mm-hmm. And she was okay with being it.
Right. Right.
Yeah. That's one of those situations where, did you guys talk about being in a relationship? Or did you guys just continue fucking? Right? Because if there was no, all right, my girl's left me, my sole focus is you, are we going to try to do this together? Are we going to date? Are we going to be trying to build a life? If it just continued with, oh, I'm broken up with now, you get more of my attention.
Right.
I think that it's unfair to her to set that expectation of being monogamous.
Yeah, there definitely has to be conversations. There's
Yeah.
a lot that would have to go into that relationship to make it work in a way that is functional and like not foul shit happening. I'm not surprised that this is a thing.
Yep. We went through a rough patch to say the least. I stayed at my job, begging her to quit hers, and she never did. Well, that came out of nowhere.
Well, she was sleeping with his boss.
With the general manager, and they worked together.
Okay.
I honestly turned the other cheek to the whole situation. I was a little bitch to say the least, not a real man who should have stood up for himself and took action. I just accepted it and forgave them both and moved on. What do you mean take action? Like were you thinking about fighting the manager? Because that's not how I would view a man handling that situation. I view that as emotional dysregulation, right? He's not encroaching in on your territory. She's making the choice to be with him.
Yep. I gotta be honest, in that situation, I'm not even mad at him. I'm mad at her.
Right.
Were you gonna beat her up? That doesn't sound like manly shit to me.
Mm-hmm. I also think that, so it said just accepted it and forgave them both and moved on. That's life, homie. That really is what it is. There's nothing else to do. You can be pissed off at them for the rest of your life, but that's just going to poison your own well. They're not drinking from you. You are. Mm-hmm. I hate just. That falls in with never, ever, always.
But.
Yeah. I feel like it cheapens what's being said afterwards. Accepting things is part of a healing journey. You can't change what happens. You have to accept that it happened. What you don't have to accept is if it continues moving forward. You can set that boundary of, I'm not going to be with you if you don't stop sleeping with our manager.
Right.
So I hit the accepting, forgiving him as part of it, and moving on. Like that's the cycle. You move on, either with her or without her.
Right. And if you chose to forgive, you need to let that shit go.
It's the circle of life. And it heals us all. Doesn't it?
I don't know.
It does. That's the cycle. Accepting it, forgiving it, and moving on from it.
Where did the it heals us all come from?
Because it's the circle of life. And it's something that's all. But I
Okay.
can only think of heal, and that applies to
Gotcha. I'm just trying to
the
keep
pie
up.
graph I'm giving. It's
Okay.
not a pie graph. It's a
Chart.
directional graph, right? Forgiveness is for me, not for them. Say it louder for the ones in the back.
Forgiveness also doesn't mean that you allow the shit to happen to you a second time.
Yeah,
People don't get access to you just because you forgive them.
that is true.
I'm going to dye my beard tomorrow. I know it's off topic. I can't wait.
Yeah. Do you want me to do it
This
for
shit's
you?
gotten white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it white. I'm also excited to
See me 10 years younger.
Yeah, see, what did you look like 10 years younger? What is he going to do? I felt like I was being the bigger person instead of freaking out and trying to fight him or do irrational things that I may regret later. I just took it on the chin. Yumi and I's relationship continued as if nothing happened.
But something did happen.
Right. So if we're categorizing anything as bitch behavior, which is what he wrote in the email, I would say that would be it.
Letting it go and just pretending like it never happened.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Bottling up the emotions, not having a conversation with her about how that made you feel, standing your ground, setting boundaries, whatever it is. Fast forward to 2024, Yumi and I are still together. I wonder if that name Yumi is like he's into anime and that's where that came from.
Maybe. Probably.
I always default to Jessica.
It's me.
Right?
Jessica.
So like, I'm wondering like, are you taking that from your favorite movie?
Yeah, it's funny.
Continuing, I started my own lawn company while still working the same job with Yumi. I'm working 2 full-time jobs, basically doing everything I can to grow and accomplish our goals of a home and children and marriage. Okay, goals of those things. Okay, let's say there's kids.
Right, but they're also not married yet, and they started dating in 2019.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's 6 years.
Yep. Which I can't say that I blame them. There was infidelity there. Oh, Jenny said I changed it. My daughter has me watching K-pop Demon Hunters every day. That's where my brain landed. It was a Jenny name.
Oh, that's funny.
It is funny.
June 2024, Yumi gets pregnant. December 17th, 2024, I got a random text message saying, you should... Oh, I'm so sorry. That was not a response. That was a reaction. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because this is fucked up. You should probably ask Yumi about sleeping with Kyle more than once and maybe get a paternity test. Kyle is also someone we both work with. I was shook, to say the least.
I think you should get a DNA test regardless. I don't care if you guys are married for 30 fucking years and there's a pregnancy, there should be a DNA test.
Did you see that TikTok of the dude? He was probably late 60s, early 70s. One of his children needed some type of like blood donation or organ transplant. So all of his children and him got tested to see if they would be a match. And he found out his kids aren't his.
None of them?
None of them. All of his kids are in their 40s.
Yep.
I couldn't fucking imagine.
Serena just booked the next retreat for her and her hubby.
Shut up.
Yep. That's good. He needs it.
Oh, yeah. They both need it. I fucking love that.
Buff Bell came in here and told on y'all before you even got a chance to say it. Buff Bell, you need to slow your roll. Let people tell their good news.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's going to be amazing for you guys.
Y'all are going to fucking die when you see this house. I got to create the Discord still. This house is legit. Like, I am fucking stoked.
We looked at this house and I was like, babe, this is the goal in like 20 years.
Yeah.
We start having grandkids. We start having friends over. Whew. Everyone's leaving by 7:30. All right. Are we ready to confront Yumi, everybody?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I confronted Yumi immediately with a message, and she said it was not true, denying everything.
Of course she did.
All right. I don't believe her.
I don't either. DNA test.
You are not the father. Sorry. Maury was a staple in my household growing up. Then Jerry. Yeah. Over the next few days, I retain as much information as I can about what has happened between her and Kyle. She denies every allegation and says that everyone is making up stories. I'm asking Kyle, right? Like if you truly don't trust her, there is a whole other half to this equation. And if you don't interact with Kyle or you feel uncomfortable approaching Kyle, I would just show him the text message. Be like, bro, my girl's pregnant. I received this last night. Do you know anything about what's going on? You're going to get an answer. Even if it's a shitty one like defensiveness, that's an answer to you.
He's probably going to deny it too, just like she would. They would probably be texting each other from the other room like, oh my God, he knows.
Oh, that's right.
This is one of those situations where I'm not even having a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, I know you cheated on me in the past. You have a pattern of this. You were the other woman. You were totally okay with this behavior. You're now pregnant. I want a DNA test, but you got to move, like, or I'm leaving, one or the other. I'm not doing this. And I don't need confirmation.
Right.
And I don't need your excuses or your any of that bullshit. If if that many people are coming to me saying that this is a thing, I mean, you've been good at hiding it from me, but not good at hiding it from everybody else.
Yeah. December 25th, 2024, I used the example. Oh, you could have said Christmas. This is happening Christmas Day.
What?
I use the example of the mother of my son, and I have set out what you can accomplish when I tell you the truth and forgive someone and realize that now there is another person's life, the baby, involved. And if she wants forgiveness, she must tell me the truth. So I specified that was Christmas because a lot of people hold that day in high regard.
Yeah.
That is a day where they don't want to deal with the shit that they deal with in their day-to-day. Don't have to work that day. Gonna enjoy some good food.
Family.
Relax. It's not hot outside. There's a time and place for conversations to happen. When your man's at work under the hood of a car for the next 3 hours, now is not the time to tell him that you're pissed off about his clothes not being on the floor, right? If she's out with her mom Christmas shopping, don't blow her up about where she's at. What are you doing? What's going on? There is, in my mind, a certain level of anxiety that has to be happening for conversations to be initiated in inappropriate times or for them to be gridlock, like what the Gottmans talk about.
Yeah.
After that conversation, she admitted that everything was true. She had sex with Kyle multiple times, got an Airbnb with him, and even came home and had sex with me the same night. Oh, girl, you're nasty. Oh,
It'd be even worse if there was oral involved.
it would be even worse if there was no protection used.
Well, I think that's a safe assumption. She's pregnant.
Like,
And if they've been together this entire time and she's not been pregnant, there's a high probability that that was the case.
y'all are swapping dick goop. I feel like I need to be cleansed.
I'm willing to bet that that happens a lot more than people think it does.
Oh, God. We have morals and integrity. We respect ourselves.
Most don't.
I do. I love me. I'm a temple. I am beautiful. There is a certain level of access that is acquired. Oh, God, you guys exchanged DNA. I can't. Right? Like, I have a hard time sharing a straw with our children. Like, we had a paternity test done, and unfortunately, it says it's mine. I say unfortunate because now, Chris and Peaches, I have no way out.
You should do. You should do.
I'm going to court. I'm getting 50-50. I'm not paying child support.
Well, I mean, you're not married.
Right.
So as of right now, there's not even a baby there. You can go out there and get your fucking life together. You may have to pay child support, but you could fight for custody.
Kick her out.
There's all kinds of outs. That's a cop
Yeah.
out. That's a bullshit statement. I don't have an out. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Continuing.
Yep.
I'm so broken from someone who has cut me down and drug my name through the mud right in front of my face. Oh, man. I wonder how the mother of your child feels. Right? You're going through exactly what she went through. Right? To a different degree. There's a baby involved. She's pregnant. I believe in a threefold rule. Whatever you put out into the universe is going to come back to you 3 times harder, whether that be good or bad.
Yeah.
This is that penance and a massive learning lesson. We are in service to the people around us. You don't have to have a tolerance for things that are below your standard. The way that you handle people is what's important. If you don't want to be in a situation anymore, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm not happy. I thought about cheating the other day. I don't want to be that kind of person. I would rather break up with you. They don't need to hear that, but if you need to get that off your chest, there are so many different ways to go about life.
Yeah.
I wanted the baby to not be mine so that Yumi can actually grow up. However, now I must stay. I must be a part of my child's life. It's in my nature to care for my own. Okay, I don't understand. I wanted the baby not to be mine so that Yumi can grow up.
Yeah, he wanted the baby not to be his so that she would have to face the consequences of her actions and he wouldn't have to deal with a child.
Wouldn't have to be a part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
You can be a parent and not be with the mom. It happens all the fucking time. Would it be better if you guys were together and like functioning and healthy in a relationship? Absolutely. You think it's going to be good for your child to grow up in a home where you don't trust your wife or your woman, you guys don't get along, and all of her future siblings aren't yours?
And you're arguing on Christmas?
Yeah. Fuck out of here with that. There are things that are unforgivable.
Yes.
And if you view this as and like pattern behaviors, like if it was a one-time thing and there was forgiveness and changed actions and shit like that, I could get it. Like I could fuck with that. This is not a one-time thing. She's been fucking this dude the entire time. She fucked you both in the same day. She's got no morals.
Right.
There's no integrity there whatsoever.
Poco said you left the first baby mama.
That's true. He did. So this has nothing to do with the child. This is him not wanting to leave that woman.
Yeah.
And he's using the child as a reason not to do it.
Yeah. I'm coming to you all to hear your opinion on my situation. Do I stay with Yumi and forgive her again and try to rebuild our relationship? Do I completely separate myself from her and only involve myself in the baby's life? I'm a 30-year-old man with 2 children from different women and broken relationships. I am taking time off work and soul searching for answers. I've been listening to what you guys have to say. I've been doing everything in my power to not kick someone's teeth in. I know I'm not perfect either. I will never claim to be. I strive to be a better person, father, son, every single day.
Why are you taking time off of work knowing that there's a kid coming?
Right. I was just thinking that, like, where is you have to be there for your own, but how are you going to be there for now your third child?
Well, I mean, he said he owns a lawn business. Maybe he's been saving all his money.
Maybe.
This is a real simple thing for me. We don't know your life.
Right.
Right. And we can insert a disclaimer here if you want to. We get a pinprick of your existence. Basically what you just sent in the email. And that's it. So like If the rest of your relationship with this woman is phenomenal and she just has an infidelity issue and you're willing to get over that, then that's good for you. Stay. Do all the things that you want to do. Just know she's going to fuck other people. Just give her the permission to do it. Move on with your life. That way there's no lying like bullshit happening. If you don't think that you can get over that shit and you don't want a woman who's going to be fucking around on you, then you need to find a woman who actually has some integrity and is not going to do those things. Let's get back to the email.
It's done.
Oh, cool. Let's go to something else because I hate everything about that. That sucks for that dude. But you built a foundation in quicksand.
Patreon member, I'm growing and husband doesn't really want to, but is offering to placate me.
I wonder why that word was used. Right? Like, did he say that? Like, I'll placate you?
Maybe.
Or are you saying that he's offering to placate you?
Right.
Right? Because there's a whole lot of shit that happens in life, in relationships that you don't want to do, but you do it because it makes your person happy. So before we even get into this, if that's the case, if he's willing to do whatever it is that you're asking him to do because it makes you happy, and that's your fucking answer, you're the problem in this relationship.
I agree. I got hung up on that word too. It's also in quotation marks.
Which means he probably said it.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, that's fucked up in its own right.
Dear Chris and Peaches, today is August 5th, 2025, and I'm writing to you both on two different occasions. Oh, I have written to you both on two different occasions, and you guys have helped me with my marriage.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So this is the importance of Patreon,
Yeah.
right?
This is number 3 from her.
Right. Not saying that every email you send just because you're a Patreon, it may get rejected if your email is not right, but we definitely do prioritize Patreon over everything else because you guys are our livelihood at this point of the podcast. Our community's there.
Yes.
You know, you guys are making our lives possible to even do this. So if you guys want to support us, jump on over to Patreon, tobebetter.com or patreon.com/tobebetter. Become a member at the $15 tier and you get access to Discord and you can watch us live like the 92 people who are currently watching us in the chat doing the thing.
We are also willing to do continuations. So if you are an eloquent writer and you're providing information versus trauma dumping and you write in an email, we help you, you implement it, new things pop up that you now have to cope with together and you write in another email, we are more likely to respond to it.
Every time you say eloquent, I want to go elegant. And we had that conversation and I was wrong, but in my head, I'm still going elegant. It's not eloquent. That word sounds stupid. And it is actually a word and I was wrong, but it sounds stupid and I don't like it.
Oh, gosh. You're very rarely wrong. So that's one of those moments where I'm like sucking from the teat of my ego. Like, yeah.
Somebody else just bought a room.
Stop it.
I think we've sold 2 of them since we've been live.
That's crazy. I need to know if it's hopeless or if you can give me some more tools to use. One time was a live email read where I was in the chat and my husband rolled his eyes and dismissed the advice. And the next time being in March of 2024 where I wrote in privately seeking help. Sadly, the issue has largely been the same crappy communication between the two of us. I've also been listening since March of 23, becoming a Patreon member after only 1 month on YouTube. That feels good.
Yeah, it does.
Knowing that there's so much gained in such little time that they make that decision to transfer over.
You know, the issue being crappy communication is not just crappy communication. That's rarely ever just the thing.
Do you want me to pull up that list?
Well, you can. I mean, that's a whole, yeah, sure.
Just to run through them real quick. So when my husband says that the crappy communication is rarely crappy communication, it can include invalidating, unresolved conflicts, scorekeeping, emotional withdrawal, neglected connection, disguised disrespect, and performative intimacy. And that performative intimacy is going out in public or friend gatherings and being lovey-dovey and then getting home and giving the cold shoulder.
Yeah, we got to witness that a little bit recently where 2 people were having conflict and the body language was aggressive on both sides. Like they were postured, ready for conflict.
Literally leaning away.
Well, it wasn't even just that. Like you would see the eye rolling, the deep sighing, the posturing. Like you could tell that people were getting elevated. You could tell that there was contempt between the 2 people. There was a whole lot of things. Communication is not just how you say something, right? It is, granted, that matters. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I know that people are like, there are people out there that think that that's not a fair thing, that you shouldn't have to lie. It's not a lie. It's finding the proper way to deliver something that conveys your point without making you, a hostile threat. There's a whole lot that goes into our brain with chemical makeup when we have somebody that is coming at you sideways, and it happens over and over again. That's the training we talk about all the fucking time. I'm willing to bet that as he was listening to us read the live email and rolling his eyes and scoffing, that told you a whole lot about your husband, and it probably made you feel a certain way about him. Mm-hmm. And if this has been a continuation of all of that, and that's what he's doing, I can see how you got a problem in your fucking marriage. Tell me you would feel really safe talking to somebody who's scoffing and rolling their eyes at you. If what I'm coming to you with is not going to be taken seriously, and my feelings aren't going to be heard, and there's not going to be any type of change, why would I continue to come to you? I know that you're not going to give me what I need. You've shown me that over the last 2 years.
Right. The things that you just listed out falls underneath that disguised disrespect.
Yep.
So that's not the invalidation. That's disrespect that's happening.
Yep. Well, it does lead to invalidation, though. Her needing something and him rolling her eyes or scoffing or using the term placate is invalidating.
Right.
The Gottman Institute said that contempt in a relationship is the number one cause for divorce. Tell me you're not going to have contempt for somebody who treats you that way.
Right.
Lisa said, December couples retreat booked. Husband and I are stoked. Lisa,
hell yeah.
Make sure that you guys check your spam folders, because when we're done recording today, I will be sending out emails for a Discord server for that.
Continuing.
Yes, ma'am.
But since you two read tons of emails, I don't expect y'all to remember anything from past times. So I'll give pertinent background information first. I'm 34 and he is 37. We've been together for a total of 7.5 years as of March of 2018, and married for almost 3 years, October 22. We have 2 kids, a 10-year-old girl, not his, and a nearly 4-year-old boy. We've been living together since 3 months of dating, if that matters.
It actually does, but at this point, it doesn't. It matters because it lets us know that you guys didn't learn a whole lot about each other before moving in.
Right. The first 5 years involved a lot of pain and issues. I hurt him and he hurt me, and resentments are still held onto by him even now. I don't want to trauma dump all of the details, but know that we have each other.
Him not letting go of things is the unresolved situations from that list you read too.
Oh, it is, yes.
You're right. So there's resentments here. Unresolved conflict or unresolved situations.
Continuing, I don't want to trauma dump all of the details, but know that we have each made some big mistakes, with me making the bigger proportion of them and working to atone for it.
Does that matter?
That's scorekeeping.
It is. But
that's on the list.
Right. But does that matter? Right? If you've both hurt each other and you both are holding on to things, does it matter who has sinned more than the other person?
You're both going to hell.
You're right. You've both created conflict and fucked up things in your marriage, and you being like, I did more than he did, wearing that like a badge and giving him a little bit of grace. You both fucked up. Mm-hmm. That scorekeeping shit gets real fucked up.
Yes.
Thing that we were watching or listening to yesterday talked about that scorekeeping thing really hard, and it actually, she just proved it. Mm-hmm. When you get to the scorekeeping aspect of things, you get to the point where you are focusing so heavily on all the things your partner's not doing, and that you forget to label and like add on to your shit.
I wrote it down.
Did you? Oh, go ahead. So
when they fail to do things for you, you don't track what they actually do. You're tracking what they're not doing.
Right.
So you only see. So when you're doing this, you may only see what you do, not where you're lacking. Everything becomes transactional. The angry husband accuses the wife of not being appreciative, and the wife feels disconnected and like she is the only one keeping the relationship alive. Both sides are scorekeeping, and then there is something called the cortisol something release.
The cortisol is the fight or flight thing.
Right.
So you getting cortisol in that fight or flight absolutely makes you guys go against each other.
Right. But with this happening, that cortisol release happening with the scorekeeping and the invalidation and the disguised disrespect, your brain is rewiring and becoming almost addicted to the cortisol release. That is where you're getting that dopamine hit in your relationship, but it's the cortisol with the adrenaline, whatever the case may be. My own bad choices all came to a halt just a few months after we got married, and it nearly broke us up, but he chose to stay. Since then, I have been working diligently on trying to improve my communication and be a better for him. to be the wife he needs.
Is he doing the same thing to be the husband that you need?
Right.
Because otherwise, this is a one-sided situationship.
What I'm about to say may contradict something I've said in the past on the relationship. And if so, this shows the growth that I've gained in my own journey. Do I want to improve my communication for our marriage and to make your life easier? Yes. There is also, I would say, a larger part of that. I don't want to fucking feel this way anymore. And if I can't properly articulate what's going on inside of me, yes, there is a certain way that I speak to you because you're my husband outside of the rest of the world. If I only tailor my speaking to you and then you can't help me solve what's going on with me and then I have to go find somebody else, I'm not going to know how to talk to that person. So there has to be how do I convey myself to get my points across versus focusing on making it about him, right? That's a really big thing for me right now. Don't make you about him or vice versa.
Right. This is one of those things too, that just on the communication aspect of what you just laid out, the more effective you are as a communicator, the better your relationships across the board are going to be.
Right.
If you are somebody that's always offended, always angry, always feeling like the world needs to respect you, even though you're disrespectful, you huff and puff and roll your eyes and scoff and fucking throw shade and talk shit, and you are a super aggressive person, people aren't going to want to be around you. And if you can learn how to redirect all of that bullshit and find new ways to conduct yourself, your social circles will get better. Your marriage will improve. Your friendships will get better. Your family life will get better.
Right.
People don't want to be around people who are fucking assholes. Like, that's really what it comes down to.
It felt like we were over all of that until Saturday afternoon, August 1st of 25, when I addressed my feelings about how he talks to me and how I needed his help in order for me to feel emotionally safe enough to continue to stay. Note, I have borderline personality disorder and have been through a few years of therapy, read several books, currently working on the courage to be disliked, processed a lot of my own trauma, challenged my own thought patterns, and I think it's mostly in remission now.
Okay, so real quick, that's super dope. Love all of that for you. Can you go back before she said she had BPD and just read that sentence again?
It felt like we were over all of that until Saturday afternoon, August 1st of 25, when I addressed my feelings about how he talks to me and how I needed his help in order for me to feel emotionally safe enough to continue to stay.
That is one of the most reasonable requests you can ask for in a marriage. How it's delivered matters, right?
Yes,
because if you're telling us that's how it was and you were like, I can't fucking stand the way that you talk to me and like you're being super aggressive about it, that's not true, because what you just said and what happened might not have been the same thing. But if that is how you laid it out,
Yeah.
that is healthy as a motherfucker and is a very reasonable request and like should be reached for, right? Like, I can do that for you. Like, I understand that my tone may be an asshole sometimes. I understand that sometimes I get frustrated and I may be a dick, but you're right. I probably got a lot of room to work on that. Let's have a conversation about what it is that I'm doing wrong or what might trigger you so that I can try to find new communication skills. The problem is when you have contempt and you are not getting along and everything is a fucking problem and your person is not safe to go to, there's not going to be any change. Why would they? Especially if this is the way you've lived your life for the last 7 years.
Yeah. There's a lot of rewiring that would have to happen.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't have the patience with themselves to try to do that rewiring to make the marriage work in a better, more optimal.
Yeah. I also think that in order for the situations like this to work, like if they've been at each other's throats for the last 8 years, somebody's going to have to eat crow for a while to defuse the situation because both people aren't going to just submit to each other out of nowhere.
That is true.
Like, someone has to go, okay, this isn't working for me. And I'm either going to have to leave or I'm going to have to change my life somehow. And the only thing I can control is me. And they might continue doing the things that they're doing, but I can fix me. And I'm not going to scoff and roll my eyes and talk shit. I'm not going to call you names. I'm not going to interrupt you. And I'm going to work on me so that when we're having conversations, you can see that I'm not doing all those things that you think I'm doing. And if you do think that I'm doing, then we can then have a conversation that I haven't been doing these things. I've been working on it. I've been aware of it. Yeah.
Very well laid out. There is no more self-harm, no more regular cry sessions in my car. It's been over a year now.
Love that.
and I can keep myself much more level-headed for longer than I used to be able to in tense discussions or conflict.
Love that too.
And my lowest lows aren't nearly so low. So July of 25 was fraught with arguments. Oh, that's a good word. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry there were arguments. I'm just appreciating the language. Sadly, our relationship has still resembled a bit of the roller coaster despite me getting better mentally. So if that's the case, right, because everything in life is data collection. If that's the case, then you weren't the only one who was riding that roller coaster.
Right.
There is the Dueling Dragons roller coaster at Universal. It's a Harry Potter coaster with the two dragons going simultaneously. That's you guys, right? If he were a healthy communicator, had his shit together, worked through his things, once you started slowing down on your roller coaster, this wouldn't be happening anymore.
Yeah, he's got to be willing to do the work too.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least acknowledge the change within you and then
Yes.
adjust his life accordingly.
We will have a good spell with a max of about 2 weeks, and then it will get bumpy again. Then sometimes that bumpy period becomes really rocky with lots of arguments, and big and small, sometimes multiple in a day.
I'm willing to bet the multiples in a day is because things aren't getting resolved.
I agree. Or there's little digs being made.
Right.
Or, I wouldn't say that adds on to the things not being resolved.
Yeah.
In my mind, the arguing continues and it's being triggered by small digs or backhanded comments.
Yeah. Body language.
Yeah.
Posturing. Yeah.
So knowing that the quote unquote good times last for 2 weeks and then something happens, you guys have a cycle, and it sounds like a 2 week, and then things are sour for however long they are. I would say 1 week, maybe. So if you guys are on a 3 week cycle, you can track that shit like you can track your period. And I hate tracking my period. So just at this point in the email, knowing that there is a cycle happening and you can track it on the dot. All right, it's been 2 weeks. What are we going to fight about this time? Are we in gridlock? Are we having perpetual arguments? What is the root of what's going on? Once that root's pulled out, that cycle is going to stop, or it's going to lessen. There will be more time for the good and less time for the bad until it dissolves the way that you feel your BPD is.
Let's take this a step further and talk about the brain and the way the brain works. If you go somewhere and you know that you're going to have a conflict with somebody that works there, and every time you go in there, you start posturing and feeling like all of that shit, you're going to get to the point where you don't want to go there anymore.
I'm looking for a new job.
Right? But there's an anxiety of knowing that it's coming when you go. If you know that every roughly 2 weeks you guys are going to start having issues, there's a part of your body and your body's chemistry that starts waiting for that ball to drop because it's a frequent thing.
Your nervous system has become accustomed to that puts me in danger. I have to start setting off the alarm.
Yep.
All efforts to communicate well end up going out the window because I get tired of the fights that sometimes seem to come out of nowhere. I will admit that I could have done a lot better during July. I was also dealing with sleep deprivation nearly that whole month and know that was another wrench in the system. He is a very direct and very logical to a fault at times and doesn't have the vocabulary for emotional intelligence, etc.
Yeah, we need an example of that because that's a hell of a statement.
That really is, right? Because there's a difference between him not having emotional intelligence and him saying something and you not understanding it.
Right. Or intentionally not validating you, right? Like
Right.
being invalidating or not giving you emotionally what you need. There are people out there that have different emotional wants and needs than you do. And if you need specific things and he's not meeting them, it doesn't mean that he's not emotionally intelligent. It just means that he's choosing not to meet your needs. It's a very different thing there.
Or he doesn't understand how to meet those needs. If there hasn't been a conversation of, I need physical touch, and that looks like you brushing my hair, and he's doing things like smacking your ass or rubbing your shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be direction. We just sold another room.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll sell out before we announce it to the public.
I don't know. I know that it won't get talked about again until tomorrow.
Yeah.
And tomorrow during the live stream. And Kimberly in the chat really wants to make sure that there's a room available until tomorrow. So
Word.
She was going, please don't sell out. Please don't sell out.
I don't think we will. Not overnight. Continuing.
Yeah.
During our first 5 years, I felt something was wrong in conflict and how it was handled. But I didn't quite have the words to describe it or even recognize where my own mess ups were. During the last 2.5 years, I have been building up my vocabulary thanks to watching your podcast. I versus you statements are really helpful, and I work hard to try to always communicate that way. Sadly, it doesn't seem to land right because my husband is of the mentality that phrasing things that way is just me sharing how I feel, not saying he has done anything, and not me asking him for change.
That means you don't know how to effectively use I versus you statements.
Right.
That's hard. Real shit. I versus you is a hard thing. And most of the people don't know how to use it. It'll start off as an I statement and it is you statement. Or you just be like, I feel like blah, and that's the end of it. You need to have an I need statement afterwards. You need to be able to give them what it is that you want from the situation instead of just complaining about how you feel.
I don't like it when this happens.
Right. And I need blank to feel better about it. Yeah.
Continuing, he doesn't have an intrinsic desire to meet me in the middle when something comes up. If I get my feelings hurt by him or someone else, I am left feeling like the only solution that he finds acceptable is for me to work on being less sensitive and other variations of me needing to work on cognitively reframing the issue into seeing it from his perspective.
So he's got to be right. Got it. It doesn't sound like a partnership to me. If there's not a give and flow and we're not both making concessions to make our life better, our life better, not our individual lives, but our life, then we're not a partnership. You expect me to cater and give and do and break and bend and bow while you stay how you are.
Right.
And expect the world to navigate around you like you're some fucking pillar of existence.
I would love to have an example of what he says that hurts your feelings.
Yeah, matters.
Right? Because if there's a conversation of we're really slacking on going to the gym, I need you to take less times in the morning so we can get there, and that's hurting your feelings, I can see how that's being taken personally. If there is we agreed to work out and we're going to go get this done, and you're taking 45 minutes in the morning to get ready for the gym, and then all of a sudden it's impacting the rest of your day, and now the gym's cut short or you guys can't go, whatever the case may be. Like, that's him telling you what he needs from you in an agreement that you guys made together.
Right.
Arguments quickly become him versus me rather than us versus the problem, even when I don't participate.
Which is what I just said.
The act of agreeing to disagree is hardly ever accepted by him, and my repeated attempts at sidestepping any point of conflict, which 99% of the time is about something unimportant and actually opinion-based, but he will view his opinion as being the logical stance and therefore like a fact. This then makes him right and me wrong. I divorced the guy who acted this way.
Yeah, I was just going to say this. I don't want to use the narcissist phrasing there, but there's definitely a whole lot of problematic behavior with this. This is exhausting. And like without actual scenarios, there's nothing we can do about this other than tell you that you're in a situation where he's not going to change because he sees him. He has a superiority complex.
God complex.
You are inferior to him. Right. Real quick, somebody asked in the chat, do you think I feel is the same as I think? No. I feel is an emotional thing. I think is your brain saying blah, 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 blah.
I think sounds like you're not sure.
Right.
Like, are you asking me a question? Or are you waiting for me like to follow up and help pry the thing out of you? Yeah. It doesn't sound definitive. I feel aggravated because this happened.
Yeah, I feel, I think, I believe, I know. Yeah.
When I hear I think that that's applicable, right? Like if someone's getting ready to take accountability and you say, this played out and I feel this way because of it, and you're expecting someone to take accountability for something, they're like, yeah, I think that was kind of a messed up thing to do. That's that invalidation.
Yeah, it shortens it for sure.
Yeah. When an argument becomes too elevated or he gets sick of it, he will shut down and refuse to discuss it later in a calm way. If it gets brought up again later when things are calm, he will dive right back into the argument, sometimes even harder because I ruin a good moment by bringing up negativity. Even if I state that I will bring it up later when things are calmer. I got tired of this, so I normally don't bring things back up anymore unless it's really bothering me. Is this actively happening right now? I know the person's in the chat going back and forth.
Are they actually in the chat?
I think so.
So while you're waiting on that, just so that we're not sitting here staring at the fucking screen, this is super problematic behavior. I actually view this as a form of abuse. And it's not like a massive form of abuse, but this is one of those things that leads to the destruction of self-worth and eventually becomes massive abuse. When you no longer are able to stand up straight and everything is hunched over, carrying all the weight of the world, you're not safe to talk to your person, you're doing this alone, you're the problem. How are you ever going to stand up for yourself at that point? I believe she said she had to go.
Okay.
So
in that case, I'll keep reading. But if this is current day, this is what's happening, I'm not going to stay with this man. I'm not willing to live in a relationship or live in a life where I can't freely be me and talk about the things going inside in my universe. This sounds like a master and a slave.
It does.
You're only allowed to share what I deem is acceptable for you to share. Otherwise, suffocate.
There's a whole lot of control in that. I agree with that. That was a really good way to put that.
Thank you. I'm going to earn that Taco Bell I'm going to pick up for lunch.
Okay, I may break and eat Taco Bell.
Continuing.
Yeah.
Tone and body language seem to only matter to him when it is me displaying them, but they are dismissed when I bring up his own nonverbal communication, when I bring up how his own nonverbal communication is giving me mixed signals, comes off bad, etc.
Because he sees himself as above you. You guys aren't equals in this.
Right. He's not the problem. Right. You're the problem. There's nothing he can fix.
Right.
I'm not going to do this. I'm not inciting violence. I'm not recommending that you do this. When I hear of this behavior, right, I know I cannot logically reason with somebody like the man that's being described in this email. I just want to fight you then. like we can't have an intellectual conversation, so let's have a physical one.
Because it's frustrating, right?
It
like
is.
You get to the point where you're like, what else can I fucking do to get my point across? You're not listening.
Yeah.
Nothing's changing. You're always making me be the problem. Like, this is not how anybody's going to want to live their lives. Of course. I mean, I can see how that would actually be a very viable feeling in people.
Right. Then it becomes an issue of me needing to reframe it in my mind, and I get told to listen to his actual words. I have been addressing all of these problems both outside of conflict and also in the moment, and nothing changes. I don't get any apologies because he says he never feels sorry. Did he tell you you deserved it? Did he say he talked to you that way because you deserved it? Because fuck him. This is making me angry.
Yeah, I can see that. And I don't blame you.
This is making me angry. I don't get any apologies because he says he never feels sorry about any of it and that change action is what matters. Yet when I ask for change, I get conversationally ninja'd into giving up my post and accepting blame for my own errors. This is a fucked up form of being a mental magician.
Yeah, a lot of manipulation happening here.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what she wants from us in this situation. There's nothing that she's going to be able to say or do that's going to get him to change his behavioral patterns here because he views himself as above her and does not see anything in his behavior as being wrong. And this is the placate email. So like, I do believe he made that statement the way that she's describing this person.
Okay. So I'm scrolling down a little bit because this is just more, I feel like it's just venting. And more him gaslighting her and shit. Before I keep doing this, someone in the chat said, how do you heal in the environment that scared you? How do you heal in the environment that scarred you? Well, the environment didn't scar you. The people, the predators in that environment did.
Right.
Right. We're not scared of the woods. We're scared of what's in the woods.
Right.
So if the predators are still in that environment, you're never going to heal. You're always going to be in fight or flight. Your nervous system's always going to be lit up. If you're going back to a childhood home that's now vacant, the house didn't hurt you.
What you said about the nervous system, the way that this situation, the way that that works is there has to be validation of what's happening. So to answer the question of how you heal in an environment you're scarred in, there has to be validation of what's happening.
Yes.
Or what has happened. There has to be accountability, and there has to be changed behavior to prove that both parties are willing to move forward and like start working on the things necessary to reconnect.
And gain trust, because that's keeping your word.
Right. It all starts with validating the other person's existence. I'm sorry that I put you through these things. I'm sorry that you have felt the way that you felt in our house for the last 10 years. And it needs to be a real validation and understanding of what has happened. Without that, there can be no healing because the situation will simply repeat itself.
Yes, I agree.
Jenny said real quick, because you were reading and I didn't want to, he will erode her confidence until there's nothing left. That's exactly that's exactly what's happening right now in this.
And then he will be your only source of self-worth.
Right. And the abuse will get worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you are no longer able to provide yourself with, I am worthy, I am loved, I am desired, all of those kinds of things, you're going to start seeking it from outside. And people who are abusive and want control in that way will feed you enough of that to keep you from starving, but not enough for you to gain confidence and recognize that you don't have to put up with a life like that.
Do you feel like our emails have gotten harder?
What do you mean?
Maybe it's just me, but I feel like the last few emails we've read, there's been a whole lot of like, this isn't a good relationship, you should leave. Are we guys in the chat? Like, is that a thing? Are we leaning a lot to like leave your relationship? Because I don't feel like that's always our answer, but if that's becoming our answer, that means the emails are getting worse.
I think the emails are getting worse. I think the quality of relationships that we're seeing in the emails are below subpar.
Don't want to be the podcast that tells everybody to break up. I really don't.
Well, I'm also not going to lie and say this can work out.
Right. Well, I mean, in this situation, he's the one who has to make changes.
Yeah.
Because he's putting all of the blame at her feet. And if that's truly what's happening, because again, we don't know.
Right.
The relationship is never going to change. He sees himself as above her. Why should he have to change? He knows he can mentally manipulate. Nothing's going to change here. And there's nothing that we can say for her to tell him to make him change. We can tell you until you're blue in the face, like you need validation, you need to express yourself differently, blah, 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 blah. But he doesn't want to hear that shit, according to the way this is laid out. There's not been a moment where he's redeemed himself.
Janae said the emails are getting worse.
Okay. She says, I reject so many emails. I send out the leaving abusive relationship information so often. I fucking hate that.
Me too. I got so tired of all of these things that I was very deep in thoughts of leaving, deeper than ever before, that this past Saturday, August 1st, I ended up privately in tears at 3 different moments across the morning, hiding out while I cried, trying to regulate myself to participate with the kids more. We had gotten into a tense back and forth that kicked off the waterworks. It was a logistical conversation that his sister, who lives with us, had started. This is from... this is from the emailer. So this is extra information. I'm pausing the story to explain her living with us. You both asked why. When it was brought up in past readings, my husband and I started living together in June of 18, and it involved me and my freshly minted ex, bio father of the 10-year-old daughter, my now husband, and of course, daughter, all living together in a decent-sized house. Husband and I met on a dating site, and we moved from 2.5 hours away into this setup. Okay, so you guys met on a dating website and then moved in together 3 months later?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's wild work. I'm so glad that he didn't touch your daughter.
Right?
Y'all need to be so fucking careful with that.
Jesse said so many people don't know that or don't understand that they're being abused, and she said I didn't know. I don't, dude. I know the chat's saying that sometimes people are looking for the validation that they need to leave. I want to help people, And I understand that situation is actually helping some people, especially people who are in really situations, but it makes me feel like shit.
Right.
These emails don't feel good.
I am not willing to continue a career if all people want from me is to say, yes, leave that situation.
Right.
Like that, I feel like a yes man. Like you already know the answer. Have confidence in your decision making. Be confident in yourself as a person. You know when you don't feel right in a situation. You don't need somebody else to tell you that it's not okay.
Yeah. And if you're unhappy as fuck in your marriage, you can be happy by yourself. Like, and I know we have said that a lot too. Like, if I'm gonna be miserable, I can do that by myself. And there's a whole lot less stress that comes along with just taking care of me.
Right.
Right. But in the other aspect of all of this is like, what if you're missing out on somebody that would actually love and respect you? Right. Because we were both in previous really shitty marriages. And we have a dope fucking relationship that we wouldn't have had we stayed. That's just the reality of it.
Right. When my ex moved out a few months later after finding his own new partner, we were left needing help covering the rent, and my now sister-in-law was living in a tiny spare bedroom with her and her husband's mom and stepdad. So we asked her if she wanted to be a roommate to help out. 2 years later, husband bought a house for us, and we still live halfway. Needed the help from the rent for her. So we invited her to follow. And we still halfway needed the help from her rent, so we invited her to follow. Her bedroom is actually a second living room with pocket doors because our house is almost 125 years old. We have discussed a timeline for asking her to move out, as she does help provide childcare for various odd times randomly. Sadly, she gets to bear witness to our arguments too, but she has never said anything.
I would like to have her write an email.
And then she wrote back to the story. This is an editor's note. I have highlighted the story in blue. I am not sure how easy it will be to read on the podcast. If it becomes too much, just skip the blue. My sister-in-law asked if we had plans for their stepdad's birthday. I replied, the last time we saw him, I remember saying that we should take him out on the weekend after since it's a JJ night on his actual birthday. We won't have daughter that weekend. She will be at the other parent's house, but life goes on. Husband interjects since he was also in the room. So I'm going to take that interjection as you are having a one-on-one conversation with your sister-in-law. He, A, B, see your way out of this conversation. He just
interjected.
Yeah.
Before you move on, this says it was a 16-page email?
Yeah.
How many pages are left?
We're on page 7.
And how many pages is this?
16.
No, the part that you're on.
3.5.
All right, let's finish that
And pause.
and then wrap up and go on to the next episode.
Okay.
It's just going to make my life easier when we edit. So now I have to go through 3 hours of content.
Right. Husband interjected since he's also in the room. What about Wednesday or Friday? I later learned I didn't hear him say Wednesday. I said, daughter gets picked up that evening, and you have previously said that you dislike going out to dinner on those nights due to timing and not wanting to feel rushed. I need an elaboration on your retort to that. You said you don't like going out to dinner on those nights. If I only heard you say Friday night, what about Friday night? I wouldn't say nights,
Correct.
Plural. Babe, you don't like going out on Friday. What are we talking about?
Right.
Right? Now, if it was said with the tint of you don't like going out Friday nights, meaning every single Friday night we're staying indoors, I can understand that phrasing. But just on those nights, when I hear that back, I'm going to think you heard what I just said. Yeah. Continuing, he said, but other parent has been arriving closer to 7 p.m. and we are always done eating by then. So he said the other parent has been arriving closer to 7 p.m. and we are always done eating by then. So I'm just going to pause right there, right? I didn't read anything beyond that. I'm having a conversation with my husband. I think I heard one thing. You said one thing. Your response is, yeah, but child's been getting here 7 p.m. We'll be done with dinner by then. Okay, babe. If that works better for our schedules, or that's something that you would prefer to do with your stepfather, I'm going to scroll up just a little bit. What is happening? Yeah, my sister-in-law asked if we had plans for their stepdad's birthday. So this is about you and your stepdad. I'm along for the ride. I don't know this man outside of you.
Right.
So If you were like, yeah, Friday, 5 o'clock would work great, word. Yes, you've stated things previously, but we're having a conversation right now in this moment. And there is always an exception to the rule.
Right.
Do you have anything to add to that?
Nope.
All right, continuing. I said, I know, but I was going off your previous stated preference, so I was pointing out that she's getting picked up. So what's the point of that?
Just to correct him in the moment.
Right? Like there was no need for that to be said. He said, so what about Wednesday? Are you even going to address that, or are you going to harp on how you think Friday won't work? He said this with a sharp tone. I would believe it if he said that he felt like he said that in retort to what you said. Right? Like he felt like you bit at him. It doesn't rationalize him saying it. I'm a bite back. That's what you guys do.
Right. Right. This is the contempt.
Yes.
This is why this shit matters. Right? This is why we need examples of what's actually going on.
Continuing. I said, I didn't hear you mention Wednesday. That day would be fine. I felt defensive. I believe that. I believe you felt defensive because he became defensive because you said something that didn't particularly have to be said in the conversation.
Right.
Right? That felt like a defensive statement of, well, I was using my background information. I'm not trying to look stupid right now in this moment because you're saying something that contradicted what you said previously, whatever the case, right? I'm making that up.
Right.
I'm not saying that's what happened.
It's not hard to simply go, wait a minute. What do you mean? What do you mean Wednesday? You said Friday.
Right.
No, I said Wednesday and Friday. Oh, my bad. I didn't hear it. See how easy that is?
Right.
This is what I meant earlier. One of you are going to have to back down. Mm-hmm. You guys cannot continue to be the aggressor towards each other and expect there to be peace.
Continuing, I opened my phone calendar and replied, daughter has a well visit doctor appointment that day at 4:40 p.m. He said, okay, what does that have to do with anything? I said, it's an appointment near dinner time. I didn't know if it was too close or mattered to you for the sake of picking a day. He said, why would it matter to me? More annoyed seeming. I said, well, that's why I shared it because I didn't know if it was important to you. So I was letting you know. Maybe an appointment that's supposed to end at 5 p.m. is too late. He said, but how would that be too late? It's not even dinner time then. We don't eat at 5 p.m. So now you guys aren't even on the main point of the argument anymore. We're arguing about dinner time, right? So this is the diverging branch. You guys are no longer on the main resolution point. We're over here dicking around looking at colored leaves.
Right. Well, she's hitting him with a whole lot of shit that doesn't fucking matter.
Right. I agree. I'm going to be honest. I feel like if somebody picked this fight, the emailer did. By saying, I'm not saying that she picked a fight, right? That I'm using that terminology because that's what people understand when they're trying to.
This is how it kicked off.
Right. I believe using that word, the kickoff, would be, he said the other parent would be arriving closer to 7 p.m. and we are always done eating by then. And then the emailer said, I know, but I was going off your previous stated preference, so I was pointing out that she's getting picked up. That was unnecessary information. Right? Like I said previously, that would just be one of those moments of, damn, you right. Word, Friday works great. Let's go ahead and do that if you're on board with it.
Right.
And I believe that was said like subconsciously in a way to say, oh, well, I'm standing my ground because I had the correct information. You're changing your mind now. And like you said, that's the contempt.
That change of mind shit's going to happen though.
Right.
Sometimes convenience matters more than anything else.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Him saying, okay, what does that have to do with anything? It could be said nicer. Right? You can hear that you guys don't like each other in the way you're talking to one another. So I feel like everything that's being said to each other can go without saying that. It can be phrased a little bit better, or things can be omitted that's really not necessary to have in the conversation.
Right.
If you guys don't eat at 5 p.m., you eat at 6:30, the fact that she has a doctorate appointment at 4:40 doesn't matter in this conversation, right? Husband and I have a rundown every single day. What's on the agenda? We pull up the schedule, we look at what's going on. And then it's more for timing references.
Right.
We have dinner every day at the same time. The fact that a child has a doctor's appointment at 4:40 p.m. has zero impact on your life besides you knowing where we're going to be at. We're not going to be home, so where were we going to be?
Right. There's also a lot of unspokens in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like we know that by like 7 o'clock at night, we're done.
Yeah, relaxing
Like,
on the couch.
right. But that's not a scheduled thing. That's
No.
just what we enjoy and we try to make happen. That whole situation is proof that they have been at odds for so long that they don't know how to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting on the ball to drop.
Yeah. And I don't want to say that we are picking this apart to make anybody feel bad. This is us analyzing the conversation to help give pointers of the right direction. I'm not going to say the right direction. The direction that we may take that feels like it would be a healthier way to handle what's going on versus what's being said. So he said, but how could it be too late? It's not even dinner time then. We don't eat at 5 p.m. I said, actually, we eat closer to 5 p.m. than you think because when I walk in the door after work at 5:12 p.m., you have dinner already started most of the time. Like I said, I didn't know if you'd find that information important, so I shared it, and it seems to be a problem that I didn't automatically know your thoughts. He said, so does Wednesday work? I said, works for me. Anything you want to say before I continue?
Well, let's point out the fact that he's got dinner ready for her on the stove. Like he's prepping dinner when she comes home at 5:12, as she put it.
Right.
So you might eat close to 5 or 6, but if he's the one making the dinner and you're the one taking the child to the place, I don't understand how that's a problem. Mm-hmm. Dinner might just be a little bit later than normal. You guys and previously said that the shit doesn't matter because you guys are done eating dinner by 7. Dinner doesn't take 2 hours.
Right.
So the reality is you're probably eating around 6:15, and that's if everybody is like bullshitting. Mm-hmm. Dinner at our house is if we sit down, shut up and eat, we're out of here in like 15 minutes tops.
20 minutes if somebody made a mess.
Right.
Right. I also want to point out if he's the one who's cooking and she has a 4:40 p.m. doctor's appointment, it doesn't matter when the appointment ends, he's cooking.
Right.
Like dinner is being made. Right. Oh, that's the point you were making?
I did say that, yeah. Because she's the one taking the kid to the doctor. It doesn't matter if it's at 4:30 or at 5.
Yeah.
He's the one that's making dinner.
In my mind, this whole time I was thinking they would be going to a restaurant with the stepdad.
Yeah.
So like even then, if you guys have to leave the house at 5:40 to get there by 6 o'clock, like dinner's happening at 6 o'clock.
Right. Well, he also suggested after 7 before it even got to this point. So that doesn't matter anyways. If they were planning on going after 7, it wouldn't matter if there's an appointment at 4, 5, or 6. They were planning on leaving after 7 o'clock. They're looking for reasons to argue is what's happening here.
Emailer said, we eat closer to 5 p.m. than you think because when I walk in the door after work at 5:12 p.m., you have dinner already started most of the time. 5:30 is not close to 5. It's not closer to 5 than 6, right? If he has dinner started, in my mind, like vegetables just got prepped, water's boiling on the stove, like we're getting ready to get into the groove of making the meal. It might take him 30, 45 minutes to cook dinner, and then we're eating at 6 o'clock. So you getting home and him starting dinner to you is having dinner, and him cooking dinner and then sitting down and actually eating his plate sounds like 2 different things.
Yeah. This is why I said earlier that we get a pinprick of your lives when you write in.
Right.
Because everything that she laid out versus what's happening now it's not true. Like there's a whole lot of conflicting information now.
Mm-hmm. So he said, does Wednesday work? I said, works for me. He said, sarcastically, glad we have this planned out so far in advance. I said, I was just following through with the conversation that sister-in-law started, and then you and I got sidetracked with the communication issue. Then we circled back to the topic to answer sister-in-law's question. He said, are you in a bad mood now? Is this how our whole day is going to be?
It's a fair question.
I agree with that. Clearly annoyed and with zero warmth. These types of replies are typical when he thinks I'm in a bad mood or if we ended up arguing at all. Never does he admit to being in a bad mood. It happened maybe twice.
Right. Well, he didn't start this. You did.
Right.
So, of course, he's going to ask that. And why the fuck would anybody want to be in a situation where they're dealing with unhappy people all the time?
Right.
Is this how our night is going to go has been asked in our home a fucking lot. That's not a very healed thing to say, but it's honest. Mm-hmm. I don't want to fight with you. If this is how our night's going to go, let me know so that I can mentally prepare myself for this fucking shitty day when I was looking forward to having quality time or a nice dinner or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. You don't have to say it shit anymore because we don't have fights like that. But there's a lot that goes into that. I think that's a fair question.
I agree. So he said, are you in a bad mood? Whole day. These types of replies are typical when he thinks that I'm in a bad mood. I already read that. I said no. I just don't see the point of you asking double whys like that. You asked why I shared the appointment info. I answered, and then you asked why it would be important to you, which I have to spitball various possible answers because the whole thing is that I didn't know if it was in the place, which then seemed to irritate you that I didn't already know this stuff. It makes me feel stupid when you question my information sharing like that because this happens regularly. I refuse to blow my communication issues.
I'm willing to bet that he views this as stupid conversation. So I'm willing to bet that there is a level of he doesn't trust your intelligence.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a whole lot of common sense shit that goes in here. If he already said we're going to go after 7 o'clock and you've got a doctor's appointment at 4:45, that shit doesn't matter.
Right.
Doctor's office closed at 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So how is this? And he's not the one that's taking the kid. So how is any of that information relevant?
Right.
This is the quick giving us details we don't need.
Right.
I don't need all that information. If you come to me and like, these are the possibilities and I get to pick one, I don't need any of that other information because you gave me the possibilities.
Right.
If he said Wednesday and Friday works after 7, all of that information is irrelevant. If you know that you can be there by 7 o'clock, none of that shit's necessary.
Yeah.
Now, if it's one of those things that you're afraid of the appointment running over and you not being home in time to get there on time, you can be like, well, there is a 4:45 appointment. If it runs late, traffic, I might not be here till 6:30. You still think it'll be okay? Mm-hmm. That's confirmation. That's looking for reassurance in the moment that you're making a good call and providing data.
Right.
The rest of that, though, didn't look like that.
Right. I will do that, right? If I'm talking to somebody and we're coordinating something and they tell me information, I will ask, what does that have to do with me? Right? Because I need to understand why you're telling me this information in this moment when I'm not going to be there. I'm not the one driving. I'm not dealing with the doctor. So like, I can understand his level of why are you telling me this?
Right.
Like, how is this going to impact my life? Right? Like you had said, if there was a statement of, well, I'm concerned that the appointment's going to run over, do you think that'll be an issue with what we're trying to plan with your stepfather's birthday? I feel like the conversation would have gone differently versus, well, I'm just letting you know in case you need to know.
Right. I believe that.
Yeah.
You just got another woman in your women's group.
Oh, hell yeah. Twinkle fingers. Yay.
Hey, I would like to, here's a great thing.
What's that?
Out of all the women who are at the couples retreat this weekend, one of them is in your top tier.
Yes.
And their one-on-one session was the shortest one-on-one session about everyone there.
It was.
Because of all of the work that she's done with you privately, we talked more about nonsense and just life shit than with anyone else there because she's done so much work.
Yeah. And her husband commented on it multiple times.
About how much she's changed. Yeah, it's crazy. So good on you.
Thank you.
Mental pat on the back. Yep.
I appreciate that, babe. I don't know what the sentence "I refuse to blow my communication issues" means. But there are communication issues here.
A lot of them.
Like stated, there were things said unnecessarily that I would say almost instigated a reaction. Continuing, he said, I disagree. I said, you disagree that I refuse to blow my communication issues? He said, no, I disagree that this was a communication issue at all. Sister-in-law was there the entire time and the kids were also around. I felt dismissed at this point and needed to regulate. The conversation seemed over, so I went upstairs to cry and regulate myself.
You cried over that? I don't think this is a communication issue either. You gave him unnecessary information.
Right.
And like this created conflict. This wasn't a communication thing. This is your delivery and the way that you two were talking to each other. So I guess maybe that does technically fall in communication.
There was a stand your ground aspect from her that compiled it.
Right. Yeah. I in this situation, I'm not gonna lie, I side with him on this. I wasn't there going solely off of what was listed out. I think that he might have been like, we can't hear tone. So if he was being super fucking nasty, I don't vibe with that. But the points that were made, I get. You need to run away and cry because he disagrees that you guys were having a communication issue is you problem.
Yeah.
Are you gonna cry over because he doesn't agree with you? Like, I don't understand that. Why not put a pin in it and come back to it later?
I can understand crying about it. I'm going to be honest, when I was still in my victim mindset, because that wasn't about me. We just had a fight because you weren't hearing what I was trying to communicate to you. And now reflecting on that and even reading this back, I can see his perspective of I was just trying to contribute to the party planning and she picked a fight with me.
That's a good point.
I don't know if this is a beat dog biting back. Like he's been mentally abusive or verbally or psychologically abusive over the years, and this is the result of it. And this is her having conversation with him because she's just sick of being around him. I don't view that on her end being healthy communication.
Right. I agree.
Okay. After being upstairs for around 20 minutes, he walked into the bedroom to get something and used the connected master bathroom. But upon seeing me, he came up to me and genuinely asked, having a rough day. And it sounded shockingly warm and caring. I replied, it's much more than that, and he pulled back and said, okay, and then went into the bathroom, door open like usual. We didn't say anything more, and I knew that I would have to open up during Son's nap time that was coming up. So I started typing a short conversation opener that laid it all out on the table for me to read and not get off a track.
So he put in a request for connection, trying a request for connection and repair. He physically touched you,
Right.
showed warmth, showed compassion, trying to connect, and you shut it down.
Yes.
It's much more than that.
Yeah.
He let go and went to the bathroom to do what he was going to do
Yeah.
because that was a shitty fucking response. It wasn't appropriate for the moment, and it didn't help what was actually happening. He was trying to connect to you. You could have had a conversation with him in that moment. He was open to it. He was wanting to go what was going. He's checking on you.
Right. And from the perspective of he was trying to help with the party planning, giving optional days, and then there was a fight picked there. He could have felt like he was going out of his way to try and check on you and repair. Like that's the effort that goes into marriage that we talk about.
Right.
In that moment, right? Because we have times where I'm having a really, really bad day and I'll be laying in bed crying or whatever. And you'll do exactly that. You'll come up, you'll rub my hip. Having a rough day? Yeah, today fucking sucks. It would be something along the lines of today sucks. Yeah, it's a rough day for both of us. Whatever. Well, I wouldn't say that because he just said he didn't view that as a communication thing.
Right.
Right. So knowing that he said that it was a communication thing and then I go upstairs upset, this is a me problem.
Right.
He wasn't upset about this. He's not having some type of physical reaction. So you come up and check on me. Yeah. I am having a rough day.
Right. But if that's all you said to me, I can't help you with that.
Yeah.
That is a conversation ending statement. If there's not a comma at the end of that and it's a period, you said what you had to say.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I'm emotional or I'm hurt or that bothered me or there's anything more than I'm having a rough day, we can have a conversation about it. But this is the prying thing. He shouldn't have to pry that out of you. He can tell that you're visibly upset. And if he was like, I can tell that you're mad, there's a problem because you're assuming they're mad, right? Like you have to be forthcoming with information if you want to have a conversation. People having to pry shit out of you is problematic. Like it's problematic behavior and it can also be seen as aggressive, right? That's an aggressive act. If I have to pry it out of you and I keep going, but tell me what's wrong, but what's wrong? I can tell something's going on. Like, dude, fucking breathe. Back the fuck up.
That's the end of the blue.
Okay. Well, that's 2 hours and 40 minutes before edits. So that's where we're going to wrap this episode up, guys. For those of you who are watching right now, we're going to take a break, eat, stretch. I don't know, maybe 2 hours from now, come back and then finish this email as a part 2. So if you guys are invested in this and actually care to hear what's going on, you'll have to tune in next Friday. For the Patreon guys who are watching, it'll be today. Just look for the at in the chat. Anything you want to add?
No.
I'm going to add one more thing and we can wrap up. Over the weekend, us watching couples interact and the way that they talk when they don't have communication, just saying that you don't communicate effectively is such a surface level thing. And without us seeing what's going on or having honest assessments of both persons' behavior, there's no way to really dissect these things.
Right.
Other than us telling you that you're both wrong. There's not a scenario where you are in conflict with somebody and you are handling everything correctly.
Right.
You're just not. We are not handling everything correctly. The Gottmans are not handling everything correctly. there are going to be a whole lot of oh shit moments and conversations when you are elevated emotionally that has to be worked through, and it takes effort on both sides. And if you're not willing to put in that effort and your partner's not willing to put in the effort, then you are at a point where you are no longer going to be able to move forward with life. You're going to get gridlocked. You're going to become in a perpetual argument. The attacks are going to continue. You're going to find yourself chemically at odds with your person. It's just not going to resolve.
I agree.
So with that being said, guys, remember you are the author of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.